go for it. Okay, so hello all of you. I'm Millie, who is one of the team here who behind getting this extraordinary adventure up and running. So we've sent out the what we call the kind of your admin to-do list. I know, overwhelming. You know, usually you have about 6 months to get that all complete. Now we're doing everything so last minute. It's like do. But you can do it all in a day. When you do that is up to you, which we'll discuss now. So the main point, so I sent that letter out and then quite a few people have got back to me saying, but are we sure that this program is running? What about the red lists? What about the COVID rates? What about? So I'm here right now to not say, look, come on, you've got to go here. I'm going to tell you what I know. And it is for all of you to, after this chat, discuss everything at home and make sure you are comfortable, because you are the guys that are traveling, and we're going to play the what if scenarios so that you could think, yeah, I could take that in my stride, or no, frankly, that would freak me out. That isn't for me. So it's like, this is it. What's an all team? This is the honesty chat. So where is Costa Rica now? I've been working in Costa Rica since last November. So we have navigated as a company, change in rules, change in flights, change in entry procedures, last minute flight changes because suddenly Air France decides that you can't travel through there, and overnight we put you all on Iberia flight. So we're pretty good and confident in our agility to work with the ever-changing climate that you're traveling in. Okay, so we're happy from what we know we can do this end. Hold on, Ben's here. Where is he? So, hi Ben. So Ben, I've just kind of started just saying that, you know, as a company, we are happy with the ever-changing logistics required to travel right now, which, as you can see from that letter, that's just the beginning of the logistics. So we're confident. You guys going there right now, what is the COVID rate? The COVID rate is having a spike. It's been pretty like that since October last year, but Easter is the main celebration in Costa Rica. They're a big Catholic country, and Easter means the world to them, and the country went berserk, okay? So they were crossing, and we're having this huge spike of asymptomatic COVID, which is going around. You kids won't even know you've got COVID. If you think you've got, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I think I had a headache, but I thought it was a hangover. So it's like, okay, well, you know, we're never going to know if you get COVID until you do your test to come home, okay? So what people are experiencing when they're on the LEAP program, especially the Plastic Oceans, there is COVID protocol in situ, okay? And right now, if you were there right now in Costa Rica, and it will all be changed by the time you go in the middle of June, but right now they're running a curfew from 9 at night to 5 in the morning. So your daytime, you're lucky in that you're going to a camp. It's a big, glorious camp. So you guys have got to look in. So your entertainment, all your social life is the LEAP group. You're this big, fabulous bubble. You can go into town and you can go into the restaurants and the cafes, but at 9 o'clock, everyone has got to be back at base. Everyone, whether you live there, whether you're a backpacker, whether you're a leaper, everyone at 9 o'clock has to be back into their home. So you're going to be fine because you're going to be back into a really nice home. There's loads of people and you can carry on socializing and having fun in the camp. One of the things that has been going crazy in Costa Rica recently is the illegal beach parties, which has caused, and masses of backpackers, which has caused quite a test on the people who are in the camp, because they see the independent backpackers going to the LEAP, the illegal beach parties, and think, why can't we do that? And I'm afraid it is what it is, because you're on a program, we're actually in charge of you, and we know what the risks are. Those risks of those illegal beach parties is the main reason that they are having this curfew, because they are clamping down on that, because there's a bad vibe, there's a bad gang who are running them, and the main intents and purposes of these illegal beach parties is to nick your wallets, phones, drink spiking, and all sorts of chaos has been going down. So behind the scenes, trust us, you don't want to be caught up in that. The police are now really, really vigilant. And if you get tempted, please don't do it, because that is where the police are they are hugely cracking down. But that's like right this minute. In 4 weeks' time, when you go, we could do another Zoom. I'll just do an online briefing with what the situation is closer to the time. So when it comes to COVID, it's not the biggest threat to you guys out there is not COVID, it's actually losing your wallets, your phones, drunken disorderly behavior, which is just a nightmare. But more seriously, dehydration and the simple cut are the biggest threats to you from a health and safety point of view. Cuts in this country get infected so quickly, and you can get cellulosis really, really fast. So you've got to be really mindful on the simple cut, simple mosquito bite, not going nasty. And dehydration. I know it's hot and really humid out there, and people forget that actually we're going to be working you quite hard in that temperature, and you are going to sweat like you've never sweated before. So keeping rehydrated is really important. The what if afterwards, I don't know how many of you, I mean, I know we've just got about 12 of you now, and there's about 35, but I don't know how many of you are going to go traveling afterwards. So if you are thinking about that, and a lot of people do go traveling afterwards, we will be on hand, whilst you're doing that, and we will get you ready with all the what if you fail your PCR test at the end of the program. Okay, and I would say out of a group of 30, out of the last group, maybe 2 failed their PCR test, and we've got it down to pretty slick now. What you do is you are all going to book into this really nice hotel called the Rosa of America. Now it is more expensive. It's $50 a night. That's where you stay on the first night, so you will be familiar with it. And when you come back, we ask you to do that. The reason being, when you go for your PCR test, you have to put your location, and you would have to say, I'm staying in the Rosa of America. If you get positive, you want to be doing your 10 days quarantine at the Rosa, because it's sweet, it's family run, you've got outdoor space, you can wander around the gardens, listen to the birds, and you can get Uber Eats on speed dial. So the whole thing is a nice experience. Some people that you might know of have actually thought, well, this is insured because it is by your INS insurance. Some people think, oh, well, I'm going to upgrade and go into if it happens, into the Hilton Hotel or the Marriott. Disaster. They say, yes, we can look after you if you come into quarantine, but actually they just shove you in room 104 on the 10th floor and forget about you. So you don't want to do that. Okay, trust us on where you stay. If that happened, we are on hand to make it a really smooth procedure. So nobody is to panic about what you do, but I want you to discuss that is a possibility, and I want you to have it discussed around the kitchen table, play the what if, so that should it happen, nobody is going to freak out. Okay, so before we move on to the next, have any of you got any questions on that? No. Are you sure? Okay, right.
Yes.
Moving on.
I've just got one question.
Go on.
Are we still allowed to drink?
Are you allowed to drink?
Yeah.
Of course you're allowed to drink, for God's sake.
No, but like past 9 o'clock, or do we have to go to bed at night?
No, you can drink after 9 o'clock at night. You just can't drink in the town. You've got to be back in every, the whole town has to be off the streets. Okay, back into your bases.
So we can drink back at the camp.
Yes, you can. Within reason. What we really have experienced, okay, I'm going to be deadly honest with you. What we have experienced in one of the earlier groups is that we want everyone to have a really nice time. We really do. But you've got to work with Chris and his team. This is a family home. And actually having wild, crazy parties and leaving, not that you're going to do that, but one of the other groups did this, have wild, crazy parties every night, left smashed bottles everywhere near the pool, and they've got little kids wandering around. It's just not on. So we want you to have a good time, but it's all working with respect to the whole camp. And I know that you've got, I know what you're thinking, oh shit, is this a school trip? It's not a school trip, but it's also not a 19 to 30 Magaluf experience. So you've got to work with everybody. Okay? Okay, the next question, which is the big one, which I really want you all to discuss with your family, is what if Madagascar goes on, not Madagascar, what if Costa Rica goes on the red list? Okay, so I know this is really stressing quite a few families out and they don't want that hassle. Okay, so we've done this before and we've got people in and out of Namibia and Kenya when it's got on the red list, and it's all about finding solutions and remaining calm. So what happens with the red list? It does not mean the borders are closing, okay? That is got, be really crystal clear that it is not meaning that you're going to be trapped in a country. It only means the backstop, the worst case scenario is that you have to stay in a hotel at Heathrow Airport, okay? Which between all of us, nobody wants to do that. So we understand that that's an absolute shocking waste of money. So we're going to try and think creatively. So if it goes on the red list before you leave this country, then you have a decision. You can cancel your trip and get your money back minus the £100, which is used for the kind of MyLeap and all the reservations. You could do that. Cancel down your flights, cancel everything down. We are happy with that. Or you say, sod it, I'm going. Okay? And what happens next, I'll get to. If you are on your trip and Costa Rica goes on the red list, okay? Historically, the UK has put a country on the red list and given you 1 week to get back home. So you could choose, okay? You could think, right, I'm going to get home within that 1 week. So what I propose you do, if that is going to be your goal, is that you pre-going to Costa Rica, you buy yourself an American ESTA visa, which it costs literally $15, okay? And that will allow you to transit through the States. Because what is going to happen is the Air France flights, Air France, Iberia, and Lufthansa, they only fly in and out of Costa Rica once, maybe twice a week. And if it happens that it's going to be a mad dash for those flights, and so the price increases are going to be monumental. So it will probably be cheaper for you all to ditch those flights and you cancel them down, your Air France flights, and whatever you buy, and then you buy a one-way ticket through America, which happened, there are several flights through the States every single day. And if you have your ESTA, because it can take a couple of days to come through, then you are really prepared. Okie dokes? But the third option is that you think, oh, so what? Okay, it's gone on the red list. I'm really having a happy time out here. I'm going to just enjoy the rest of my program. I'm going to go independently traveling afterwards, or whatever you were going to do, and a solution we will find. And the solution, which is the obvious solution, is if you have your ESTA and you've been out of Costa Rica for 2 weeks, you can then enter the States. You can go on holiday in America, go for 10, 11, you have to have 10 nights minimum in another country, do that, have a holiday in Florida or somewhere like that, in New York, and then fly home. Job done. Yes.
What about Mexico? Could you do that via Mexico?
Yes, you can. But we will, so what we will do is, if that happens, is that we will find you the right solution at that moment in time. So, for example, the Namibia lot, when they were there, Namibia went on the red list. And we thought, okay, don't panic, team. We're going to get you to go to Kenya. And they all changed their flights to Kenya to spend 2 weeks in Kenya. Brilliant. You wouldn't believe it. When they're on their flight into Kenya, literally in the air, Kenya went on the sodding red list. It's like, oh my God. So then we said to them, don't panic, enjoy your trip in Kenya. And then we did the research and then got them to jump to Egypt for 10 days and then Egypt home. So the messaging I'm trying to get through to you is the backstop with a red list is the hotel at Heathrow, okay? But we will try and do everything we can to provide more creative, interesting ways of getting you home. Okay? So right now, as you all know, there is no risk risk-free travel in traveling in this COVID weird environment that we're in. It does not exist. Okay? So we just are going to work together and we will guide you through the boulders and bombs that are thrown at us, which, you know, happen quite regularly. So if I was in your shoes, I would, in your head, proceed. This trip is happening, okay? So if you want to book your flights, you know, last minute, book everything in the last week, you can. But, you know, in our head, we as a company are definitely cracking on. And we'll navigate whatever needs to be done to get you there.
So if Costa Rica goes on the red list next week, are we still allowed? Do we still go?
I will say to you, you can still go. We will still deliver the program for those that want to go. Yeah? Any other questions? So just talking about how the trip works, Marcelo, I know you're going to be worried thinking, God, is this all about volunteering? I can see it written in your eyeballs. Okay, it is all about, it is an experience that you've all, you know, signed up for. It isn't, it has a structure to it. It definitely has. It has a fantastic team, fun, young, dynamic team who you are going to love in Costa Rica, who are going to bend over backwards to make sure that you have a really good time. But it is a challenge for everybody. There is 35 of you, I think, by the time you go. You get divided into 2 groups. You've got the whole camp to yourself. You've got 2 groups, and you literally, the first week, all of you, it's quite chaotic. You're all learning Spanish and you're all learning to surf. And the surfing is amazing, but the surfing is really important because the water there is really dangerous, not really dangerous, but you've got to really learn about the water safety, says I, who wasn't listening in my surf lesson and literally shot off on a riptide. So you really do have to concentrate. Trust me, concentrate. Then you get split. Week 2, week 3, week 4. You get split. 1 week will go off to Serenus, 1 week will stay. And then you swap over. And then the last week, you're all together doing the project work. So it's really busy. It's really fun. It's really, the weekends especially are really good fun. But it's a collaboration. And if Chris and everyone says, look, guys, please don't go to this one place in town. Please don't go to it. You know, there is, what we know is we have undercover knowledge of the scene in Santa Teresa. Okay, some stuff you don't want to know. I couldn't even be, you know, you just bad stuff that can happen. Okay, so if you get told, please don't go there, there's a reason why you're being told that. So just really, you know, listen to the advice of Chris and his team. You'll love Chris. He's an old hippie, but everybody loves him with his gorgeous family. Okay, so sit tight. You're going to have a really good time. You're going to make amazing friends and you'll love it. So crack on is my message. Crack on. Go. Question from Abigail.
Question about the PCR test.
Yeah.
That we need to get 48 hours before Frankfurt.
Oh, I know. Frankfurt. Yes.
Yes, but also, do you get the results straight? Like, when do you get the results? 48 hours later.
You have to, when it says you need that, you need it's saying you've got a 48-hour window to get your test and results back.
How long after the test do the results come back?
Usually 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So you want to book your test with a company that can guarantee that it's back in that day or back within 24 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah? Anyone else, any questions? Oh, go, Grace.
With the American ESTA thing, do you have to get that before you go, or can you get that when you're there if it goes on the red list?
Well, that's the thing. I think if you were my daughter, I'd be saying, get it before you go. It's $15 or $20, something like that. It's not expensive. And just have it. So that if we have to move fast, there's no stress. There's no one scrabbling around for a computer. You've just calmly got it and you can move.
Yes. Okay. Is there a link anywhere to where you can find that?
I promise
online?
you, Google American ESTA and it will come up.
Okay.
ESTA.
Okay. Also, when you arrive and we have to stay in the hotel on arrival, do we book that, or
No,
does the company book it? Okay. We just have to have the money.
We booked that. It's just because the journey down to Santa Teresa is probably a 6-7 hour journey. So with the flights at the moment, it's nicer. Everybody meets at the Rosa, then everybody coming from America or Timbuktu, you all group up there. You won't sleep a wink. You could grab some food there, and then the next morning you're all up so early because of your jet lag, and then we get you to the camp for lunch. And then that first weekend, it's really chill. You'll just be taken, you know, to kind of show where the town is, where the beach is, find your bearings, everyone chill, and then the surfing starts on the Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Should we get a local SIM card when we get there?
Yes, very easy, Sam, to get a local SIM card, but there's Wi-Fi everywhere.
Okay.
So there's Wi-Fi in camp, Wi-Fi in all the restaurants, at the airport. It's super easy to run just off Wi-Fi. But a really good top tip is to take a crappy second phone. Okay, there is no post to Costa Rica. It's absolutely hopeless. So if you, and a lot of people do lose their phones, drop them in the ocean, smash them on the beach. So have a second phone.
Okay, thank you.
Money, another top question about money. Costa Rica is expensive. Okay, everything about anything you do in Costa Rica is expensive. So you've got to be savvy. So that means do not go, and Santa Teresa is a very glamorous place. You've got George Clooney, who's got a house there. It's so shabby chic that it's just, you know, it's surf chic. That is its vibe. So you could go to restaurants, sushi restaurants, and pay London prices, or you could go to the local sodas and eat more beans. Okay, so you've really got to be pretty savvy with where you eat and drink. There's no going to these cocktail bars and spending $10 on a cocktail. Just don't even think about doing that. You're going to the supermarket, buying your own ingredients and making your cocktails in the camp. If anybody says, oh, you know, I spent $250 a week, well, then you're an idiot. That's what I'm saying. You have not been budgeting properly.
Nearly on the Estes, do you have to put a destination where you're going in North America and the dates that you would be arriving and leaving?
Yeah, they do ask for that. So, but I would just, one girl rang up yesterday and said, do we do that? And you have an option for no dates and the dates. But it actually doesn't matter when you've got your ESTA.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so I saw we start at 7 in the morning, or like 7:30. What time do we finish?
Oh, Marcelo, you are going to be worked to death. I'm going to work you particularly hard. You're going to be on shovel duty all day. No, it's just giving you a kind of vibe. The world in Costa Rica does tip. So you do actually get up earlier. The first week, that is really normal because you've got a 6-7 hour jet lag. So you kind of, you ease into it, and then you get later and later as the 4 weeks go on. But the finishing, you're going to have loads of spare time during the day. You're not beasted all day, I promise. Yeah.
Is there like a team leader that meets us at the airport or in the UK, or is there someone that meets us to take us to the hotel in Costa Rica?
Yeah, you are going to be met at the airport. There will be a big sign saying Leap Plastic Oceans, and then you'll all be taken to the Rosa of America. You'll all meet everybody, have a few drinks, have a bite to eat, and go to bed, and then next day off you go to the camp. There's lots of staff will be there.
So we're not met in the UK at Heathrow?
No, you're not met in the UK. So all of you, you're independent souls going through the airport, and then we'll meet each other probably through checkout, because there's not many other people at the airport. So you'll probably see each other on the other side after check-in. Okie dokie. Yeah.
How long does it take to check into Heathrow right now? Or how early should we get there?
That's it. I always say I'm a really kind of uptight traveller. I like to be there 3 hours, but my rest of my family would say 2.5 hours.
Okay.
It's not that chaotic at the moment because there are not that many travellers. Where is chaotic is coming back into the UK after you've travelled. But don't worry about all the admin for coming home. When it's relevant, so when you're like week 3, I will send you the email with everything you need to do to come home. Okay, I'm not going to send you that now because it will just get lost. Let's just focus on getting you out. Okay. Rightio. Right. Going to love you and leave you. But what I will do is I will do in the kind of 10 days before you're actually going, I will do an online briefing going through what the latest issues are, and then, you know, we can chat again. All right. Okay, team. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.